Hey guys, welcome to In Touch with Reality podcast. We have another wonderful special guest today. She goes by the name of Annette Craddock. How you doing today, Annette? That's good. She's an activist for gun violence, and she's also a wonderful mother, right? Wife,
Aunties.
and entrepreneur auntie.
Yeah.
So could you tell us a little bit about what you do? Like, no, first we're going to start up about like a little bit about where you came from, your background and stuff like that.
Well, I'm originally from North Carolina.
Okay.
I grew up in Brooklyn. I now
Okay.
live in Queens for
Okay.
about 13 years.
Okay.
Pretty much a stay-at-home wife, but I advocate for, foster kids. I took in a lot of kids, a lot of families,
Right.
that needed a place to stay, but, now they, grew up and it's just me and my husband.
Okay. Shout out to your husband. I see him back there. Your support system. I see. You're like, I'm coming to support my wife.
Yes.
That's what's up. I like to see that. So, tell me a little bit about what you do. Like, you advocate for you advocate for gun
Gun
violence.
violence, right. I started with gun violence in 2005. My 10-year-old son accidentally shot my friend's daughter in the head.
Okay.
Thank God she survived.
Yes.
So
yes.
at that time, I didn't have the support team to help me out, to get me through it.
Okay.
Because, he was 10 years old and, it was
Right, I know
a
that could be-
high-profile case.
Right. I
So
know that was
nobody
hard.
knew how to handle it. No one
Right.
knew how to, come out and help me out. So I pretty much did everything myself.
Right.
And it was really devastating because when the incident happened, I went into shock.
Right. I can
They
imagine.
found me in the street. I couldn't walk. I couldn't talk. I wound
Wow.
up in a psychiatric ward.
Wow.
So and then still didn't have anybody because, like I said, no one knew how to deal with this, and it was all over the newspaper,
Right.
whatever. So my son wound up spending 5 months in a juvenile detention center.
Okay.
It was devastating
Right.
for him to come to court at 10 years old in handcuffs and shit.
I know as a mother, because I have a son also, and I
Right.
know that really hurted you.
Yes.
And I really admire your strength as a woman.
Thank you.
And I know you. Oh my God, I could imagine.
Yes,
and you're a very strong woman because I know you personally also,
Yes.
and you raised a lot of strong boys.
Yes.
And you a very strong, beautiful, smart, intelligent woman.
Thank you.
And I want to give you your flowers.
Thank you. Thank
And
you so much.
so what do you like? What is like your description? Like, what do you help the people like talk about?
Well, as I was saying, I didn't have that platform.
Right.
So, in 2019, my godson was killed by
Wow.
and shot in the head by 40 projects in Jamaica, Queens.
Okay.
And when we was at the hospital, this guy asked me a question. He's like, "Oh, are you here for the young man? Let me make a phone call." I was like, "Yeah." So he told me he passed away.
Right.
That was life camp.
Wow.
So, I didn't think anything other than that. So the next day, they came through the block handing out flyers. So they invited me to this event.
Right.
It was called Healing.
Okay.
Jamani Williams was there.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So, I went there. So I didn't know it was so many parents that lost so many kids that came
Yes.
together, to support each other.
Right.
And even though he wasn't my son, but he was like a son to me. So that's where it started from there. So I was like, wow, I didn't have that support
But
back then.
when you see other people how strong they are and they've been through the same thing you've been through, it gives you more like I could get through this and I
Right.
can live and I can have more life.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what made you want to get more
Yes.
involved into it, right?
Yes. Life camp has been wonderful. Every year we go to an event. We just did an event last year with Chuck Schumer.
Okay.
I took a picture with him, so I was excited. And he was like, "Oh, you know what? I'm gonna give you all money to help fight against gun violence." So
Right.
I don't know if he did or not, but it was just wonderful being there.
Right.
We had, other people there to talk to us about, that support us. When at that time, I didn't have the support. So now
Right.
my third son was shot in the stomach in 2021.
Right. Okay.
And then I had Cavi from Kings County. They supported me.
Wow.
And then all these people come and support.
Support me.
So then I was like, you know what? I got to do something.
Right.
When my godson passed away,
Right.
you know, the family wanted to have cremate him. I said, no, we're not going to do that. Let me make a couple of phone calls.
Right.
So I made a couple of phone calls, and everybody came together, and we helped pay for the funeral.
That is wonderful.
Gave them, we
Wow.
got together, cooked food, people bringing food. Like, listen, we got to make sure he,
Have a funeral.
yes.
Right.
And-
that is wonderful. And I know they appreciated that. Trust me.
Yes,
That left
yes.
a really big impact on their hearts.
Yes, yes.
That's wonderful.
So from then there is, and I don't know if you know the young lady that was killed on Eastern Parkway.
Yes, I saw it in the news. I heard about
Yeah.
it. Right. That was devastating also. And you also knew her.
Yes.
Wow.
So I supported her, and I have this Reverend Karim. He has a church on Park Place in Ralph Avenue in Brooklyn.
Okay.
He's a big supporter also. He came through with the news reporters,
Right.
the mayor's office,
wonderful.
everybody. So I was like, you know what? I gotta get into that.
Right. Because that's, people don't understand how big that is also, you know?
Yes.
Right.
You need that support because what I tell people, not everybody that's behind a gun deserves to go to jail.
Yeah. Some people have mental issues,
Right.
you know, and they don't really know what they're doing and stuff like that.
Exactly.
You're right about that. So some people might just need help, you know? Right.
Yes. So you have to, try to figure
Or like in
out.
the case of your son, he was just young, you know, he
Right, he
didn't,
was- yeah.
you know, and then when you be out in the street, that don't make him a bad person. He was just
Right.
influenced probably, and you know, you could raise your children to be how you want them to be, the perfect children in the world. You teach them right
Right,
from
that is
wrong.
so true.
But when they go out there and they meet new people and they interact with new people, they really choose who they want to be.
Right,
That's why you see some parents like, oh my God, I didn't raise you like that, but.
Right.
Don't ever feel, and you're still a wonderful mother, so don't ever feel like because, what happened with the boys or whatever happened in your situation that
Right.
makes you feel less of a mother, because that could sometimes make us feel that way, but you did a great job raising your children, and don't ever feel like that's your fault, because like I said, you could teach them whatever you want. But once they get out in the real world, they interact with different people, and sometimes they could be pressured into doing certain things.
Right.
They could pick up certain habits, and it has nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
You know,
For a
So,
long time, I felt guilty.
that way,
I mean,
right?
felt
I know, but it doesn't have anything to do with you. And I just want to let you know that. So
Thank
I hope
you
that
so
you
much.
really
Thank you so much.
understand that. And I wanted to know, like, you a very strong woman and powerful. Like, you've been through a lot, you've seen a lot. How do you really get through that? Like, what makes you
Power
so
of
strong?
prayer.
Right,
Yes,
yeah,
you
exactly.
gotta
That's
pray
number
a
one.
lot.
Right,
You have to learn to forgive.
right.
You have to take criticism because not everybody gonna agree with what you have to say or what you do.
Exactly,
'Cause I
right.
met this guy and I say, him take this flyer. I'm advocating for gun violence. He's like, it's not gonna do anything.
Right.
Oops. Bye.
Right, that's wrong. Because, like, I always tell people, like, even with me, like, when you speak to people, even if it gets to one person, and that person spreads it among their family, and their family spread, it can reach millions of people.
Right, it
And
can.
even though people don't listen, doesn't mean they don't hear you. You understand what I'm saying? So they might not follow what you say, but that doesn't mean, sometimes, you can be the voice in that person's head, like, don't do it, or and make an impact. And even if it's not with the people who's right now, with the society right now, with the little people coming up, our
Right,
children,
right.
because our children do have to live in this world, and
Yes.
we want to also make it a better world for them.
Of
So I feel like that what you're doing is very powerful. And like even sometimes in my music, like I have music and I talk about, I have a little gun about things about guns in my music. And sometimes I'll be like, and I just wish that, if I could just do, certain things and that'll work, but
yeah.
you got to go with what's going on
Right, that's
today,
true. Yeah.
But I don't want to hurt a fly, so I don't want to, so but people, because I don't want to feel like I'm being a hypocrite, like but it's not about that. It's just about what people want to hear and what's gonna sell, and what's gonna get you where you need to be. And then when you get where I get where I need to be, then I think I will be more positive, to make, because I have those fans now, so I could be more positive and make a change and an impact. Even in in some of my music now, I still feel like I'm positive, and I give certain lessons and stuff like that. But yeah, I think, like I said, back to you, I think that is really good what you're doing, and I want you to keep up the great work.
I'm trying to. I'm trying to. We have an event August.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. So what do you have going on? Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna talk about gun violence.
Okay.
And I want whoever comes that they see the flyer and bring a picture if they lost someone to gun violence.
Right.
I want to hang it on the gate.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's nice.
lots and lots of food.
Right.
I want to give away because what I did last year, I had something, and I bought these little cups and it has different writings on it.
Right.
And I bought dirt and put the aloe plant. Aloe plant is a healing plant, so I had like 20, 25 of those, and I gave them out to people.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's nice.
Yeah.
They will actually grow, like if you leave it.
Multiplies.
Really? Oh, that is
Take
cool.
care of
It multiplies?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
That's cool.
Right. So
That's a great idea.
Yeah. So now what I want to do is, my twin sister, she wants to say a prayer.
Okay.
Right. So I believe my husband might read a poem or something.
Mm-hmm.
Because he lost his brother in 1994.
Also the gun violence? Wow. Okay.
Black party, someone shot him in the neck.
Wow.
Passed away, right? And
Wow.
that was his only brother.
Wow. That's
And the lady that lived across the street, directly in the house across the street from me, that's the mother, the parents of the little boy, the 20-year-old, I'm sorry, that was killed in a smoke shop on Jamaica Avenue.
Oh my God.
So they didn't have no support team at all. And I went there and I was like, let me make this phone call. And I was able to get Life Camp on the phone.
That's great. So
They
you
came
making
right
great
there.
impacts. That's good.
Yes.
Yes. And I know, like I said, people appreciate that because when you're going through such a tragedy like that, you need people to uplift
Right.
you. Because you'll go crazy. You try to kill yourself. You go crazy. You get depressed. You start, so you really do. And you don't understand how many lives you're changing and you're helping people out. So I think, like I said, I commend you on that. And that's so wonderful. Yeah.
Right. But what I really wanted everybody to know is,
Right.
in the Black community, we got to get out there.
Right, we do.
You hear me? We got to get out there. Don't wait till something happens to your child.
Right.
And then he's like, okay, here I go. I'm right here. No,
Right, let's do that now.
Yeah,
Right,
yes.
right,
Yes, the streets should be filled up. The churches should be open,
right.
discussing about gun violence. And I also believe that in school, take 10, 20 minutes a day, at least 5 minutes a day, and tell the kids about gun violence.
Yeah, they telling them about everything else.
Everything
They should.
else, we
Right.
have to instill that this is like,
And maybe you should push to get that done.
I'm trying.
Yeah, you'll be the past that type of in school, have them teaching that type of curriculum. That'll be great. Like that'll be really good.
Right.
Yeah, because a lot of people, like you said, they have to go through it in order to really like, oh, okay, I need. But we should do that as a whole
right.
before the tragedies. I totally agree with that.
Right, because when my son got shot in 2021, I actually was in the hospital. I took the Pfizer shot, and it sent me straight to the hospital.
Wow.
I just had a stroke.
Right.
And when I got the phone call, and when I went to the hospital, because they wouldn't let me in because of the COVID, so
Right.
the next day I went, and I could not believe it. His stomach was like wide open, and
Oh my God.
then they's like, oh, in a couple of days we can discharge him. And I'm like,
Like that?
really?
Right. So they just leave it like that?
Yes.
Really?
So I was.
They went to heal by itself, like closed.
No, it was open, so I had to take care. So he had these tubes hanging out him.
Oh my God.
That I had to drain every day.
Wow.
So every time I go and I'm sweating, I'm pouring, he's like, Mom, you good? You can do this here. I was like, no, I can't. No, I can't.
Oh.
So I said, all right, and I started cleaning it and draining the tubes or whatever.
Right.
I took him to get his feet done because it was all crusty.
Right. He been through a lot. Right. I know. Right.
So when I came back to pick him up, he wasn't there.
Really?
The people say, well, he left. So I'm calling like, where are you? Where are you? He said, Mom, he was in the opposite direction to the house. He went back to where I used to live at.
Mm-hmm.
So he wound up catching an infection in his stomach. It was
Wow.
so hot and
Right.
he had an open wound.
Right.
So, and they, it was like turning green. I was like, oh my God,
Mm-hmm.
my baby gonna die.
Right.
So when I took him back to
And which one was it?
Courtney.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That's the youngest one.
No, Marcus.
Oh, Marcus, and then it's Courtney, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Courtney's my baby.
Yeah, I know
love all my kids, but
Courtney
Courtney is
is-
something special. Right. So,
Right.
he came through it. He came through it. So I'm so grateful.
Right.
You know, that they caught the infection in time. And,
Right.
you know, he didn't have any other major damage. And
Right, that's great because I know, like, even as parents, even if something happened to my son, oh my God, we feel it too.
Yes.
Like we be crying too, like probably more than them, we feel it.
Yes.
And people don't understand that as parents, right? You be like, oh my God, like no, you be stressed out. Something happens to your kid. My son get a cold, I'll be stressed out. I'll be like, oh no.
Like, let me call 911. He has a cold. He's not breathing right.
So I could
yeah.
imagine, like, oh my God, you so strong, girl. So.
People tell me that, but
Listen,
at times I don't.
You don't feel like
that
way? No, you are. Like when you've been through that, certain things will break people in life and turn them like mentally ill and crazy and stuff like that. It's a lot of people that I know that been through so much tragedy in their life, and then they now they're bugged out, because a lot of people are not strong enough to deal with that. That's why I always, like I say all the time, you have to be very strong in this world.
Yeah.
And you can't give up on anything,
You're right about
You
that.
can't, because if you give up and let yourself go, ain't nobody, you got to push yourself no matter what you go through,
Yeah, that's true.
Yep, you got to push yourself.
Yeah, but I'm trying. So I'm writing a book.
Really?
Born into Sin. Yes.
Okay.
In the middle of it. So hopefully by next year I'll be finished. It'll be
Right.
and all of that. I'm also starting my own nonprofit organization for called Put the Guns Down.
Really? That is wonderful. Okay.
So I want to be able to go to the jail to visit people at jail. I want to be able to go to the hospital. I want to be able to talk to the parents.
Right.
That's what Life Camp does.
Right.
They was there for me. They came, they talked to me, they encouraged me, and they have this RV where they have aromatherapy.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, they have a studio on it. They have a massage therapy comes on there.
Really? That's great.
They go on retreats and stuff like that for the parents.
Right.
It's really.
Didn't you just come from something last week? That had something to do with.
Oh right, I went to.
Yeah.
They had something in downtown Brooklyn.
Okay.
There on a rooftop, and we let balloons go.
Oh, that's nice. So they just be having like a lot of activities going on. That's nice. Okay.
And they had all the pictures. It was so nice because they gave me a little locket.
Okay.
Heart with my name on it to put the picture of.
Oh, that is so
awesome.
nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Right. So they're making a lot of positive things going
I'm
on.
so grateful, but I need you all to spread the word. Like,
Yes, I will. That's why I wanted you to come up here, because I wanted to spread it. Like, because that's very. Gun violence is a very strong subject, and we need to really elaborate on that, and we need to make a change. We really do.
We have to. And we have to bring back, they have this thing. Well, I have a friend that, we kind of don't agree when I say it takes a village to raise a child, because a lot of people like, nobody ain't touching my child. You ain't telling me what to do with my child. But you know what? It took a village to help me raise my child.
Right.
My kids.
I still believe in that also.
Yeah.
You don't really have to hit them or nothing, but you could just like, hey, I see, correct them,
listen.
Right.
No, I used to,
Right.
like, this is sit your behind down.
Right.
But I love my kids. I love them with all my heart, and I thank God that I raised them right.
Right.
They're not perfect, but I'm thankful that they haven't went out and shot anybody and killed anybody, robbed anybody. I'm so grateful for that.
Right.
I'm so grateful.
Exactly. They're all still here, doing good, healthy, and that's all that matters. And see, you're doing a great job.
Thank you. So are you. I'm so proud of you, too.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Right, I appreciate it.
You look beautiful. You still
Thank
look
you.
like
You
you're
too,
about
girl.
15.
You still look how you look when I first used to be hanging around and stuff. You still look the same. You still look good. Yep. So you know, black don't crack. Girl.
Yes,
So.
that's true. But I'm having this event, and I want you to spread the word.
Okay.
And talk about it more on your show.
I will. I definitely will.
I mean, this is a subject you just can't talk about here and there. You got to talk about this
all the time.
This is an everyday
subject. I definitely will. Yeah. And like even if you having events, sometimes I'll probably come out. come to your event, take a little pictures, post, stuff like that. So spread some love or whatever. I'm always with spreading love to people.
Yeah.
Because I know how it is when you have something going on, you need the support. So, I always like to support people, especially people who support me.
I'm doing this. I'm broke. I don't have a lot of money.
It don't matter. You're doing that from your heart. That's something that you really
I don't care if I don't
are
have
passionate
time
about.
left. Yes.
And that's why God is going to bless you.
Yes.
Because you're not doing it, and you're going to get all your blessings back. Trust me, it's going to come back to you. Even though girl, please. I know a lot of people who just starting from scratch and just doing things. And when you have a passion and you see purpose, it's not even about the money. It's just about just really putting that message out there, and giving a platform to people who really need a platform to be in support and stuff like that.
It's so many young men that I've known, I'm going to be honest with you, from 2010 until now, I know about 20 kids around the Eastern Parkway, Brooklyn area, Jamaica, Queens area, that died of gun violence. And, it shouldn't be that way. Why do we have to keep losing our kids? We have to teach our kids to accept criticism.
Exactly.
We have to teach our kids, listen, it's okay to cry. It's okay to say I'm sorry.
Because
it's okay to walk away. Every action does not deserve a reaction. You have to think you have to think about stuff. Is this worth, because you really don't know. You could just get into an argument with somebody, and you really don't know what this person is thinking. This person could be going through so much, and and they can have a mental issue, or it just be some people who have complexes, their insecurity. They're insecure about certain things. So if you trigger them, if you say something to trigger them, they just go crazy. And it could be a lot of people that's going through stuff and holding a lot of things back, and they could just, because people have mental breakdowns, and they so I think that, and that's why I say mental health is very important. Because that's the root of everything. Because when your mental is right, then you perform the right way. You understand what I'm saying? But if your mental is not right, then you can't perform the right way. You can't move the right way. So I think that's, before anything, that everyone should be able to, like you said, if you wrong, apologize. Be able to take criticism. Because, and that has something to do with insecurities. Because if you know who you are, then criticism won't bother you. You understand what I'm saying? And it's just something that you have to build your child self-esteem at home. Okay. Because I asked, I wrote something on Facebook, and I asked a question. If a child comes home and say, another child pulled their hair, what will you do? Tell them to tell a teacher, or stab them with a pencil? 85%
said stab them with a pencil.
Yes, and I'm like, why?
See, I always tell my son, I'll say, so if somebody hits you or they do something, tell a teacher. Now, if they do it again, that's when you react. That's what I usually tell him,
I agree with that.
Because, I don't be wanting to get in trouble, but it's like you got to teach them, both ways, because you also want them to be able to protect themselves and defend themselves, so you don't want them to be a punk or nothing like that, or you don't want them to be because there's people out there that try to take advantage.
That's today's society. This is how we teach them. You can't tell them all right, no, but I'm sorry. But you have to tell them, but do tell them, then the next, he's a punk. I always say, so what? You still tell them that you're sorry.
Exactly. Exactly. If you could try to don't make it right. I totally agree. Totally agree.
So if I say, take a village to raise a child, if I see your child doing something, don't get upset about it. All right, thank you, I appreciate it. Listen, when Miss Annette tell you to do something, you listen what she has to say.
That's what I said.
Hit your child.
That's what I say. I said most people might say, don't put your hand. No, it's that. Because people mind their business sometimes. They'll see a kid cursing in the streets, or I've been on buses and I'm just seeing kids F you and suck and all this crazy stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, I know your parents don't know that you out here doing this. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say you can raise your children to be any type of way, but when they get around people, when they get around influences, they change and they become different. So at the end of the day, like I say, never take that away from yourself about your parent and anything, because it's just crazy.
And another thing with the kids, they don't go outside and play anymore. They don't. They
on the phones and stuff, right?
I'm on my phone and they,
Right.
I'm like, go outside, get dirty. I used to tell my sons, if you don't come back in the house dirty, that means you didn't have a good time.
Right.
Go outside, enjoy life, go somewhere. It's a big world out here, and I always tell them, don't get in this little corner in Brooklyn. I think
Right.
that's the only life that you have there. Spread your wings, move around.
Exactly.
Go different places.
Right.
And as parents, we also gotta take our kids, take them to the zoo. Not many parents want to take their kids to the zoo.
Exactly.
Not many parents they could take them to the park like, oh, they on their own.
You got to take them. Right. I remember I took my son to the zoo. That's when he was a little smaller, but I took him recently too. But I remember when he was smaller, he was crying. He was scared of everything, girl. He was right.
Really?
Yes. I was like, oh my goodness, you scared of all the animals.
So
but when we got to the I think the sheep, he was feeding them and stuff like
Oh.
that. I was showing him so. Yeah, but I think that's a good experience, the zoo, just, having a one-on-one and just, teaching about, that's a good,
It's a lot that
Right.
we have to accomplish because we're losing our kids to the jail system. The
right,
jail system don't treat our black kids how they treat the white kids.
Right.
Like getting back to when my son was 10 and accidentally shot the little girl.
right,
And they brought him into court in handcuffs and shackles.
right.
It tore me apart.
I know that hurted you. I know, girl. I'm a crybaby when it comes to my son.
Yes.
I know.
And he was leaning on me, and I was holding him, 10 years old,
Right.
holding my baby. The judge told the lawyer, tell him to sit up.
Wow.
So he came to me, he said, Mom, I don't want him to take me back there. He was being mean to me.
What?
So I went to the correction officer. I said, sweetheart, could you please take him back there? Because he said he's being mean to him.
Right.
So our kids is going to jail younger and younger.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't know how these people treating them.
Exactly.
They tell
And
them
that's
your
the
life is worthless.
Right.
They'll call you the N-word.
right.
You ain't.
Right.
You
They
know?
do. They say all type of things.
Right, so
because they don't look at you like you're a person anymore when you're behind those walls. You know,
Right.
they look at their authority and I don't like that. That's something that I think that we should try to do something about that also, because
Yes.
just because someone made a mistake doesn't mean that they're not human anymore and they don't deserve to be treated the right way,
Right, but not everybody deserves to spend a lot of time in jail.
Right.
Sometimes
Exactly.
things happen.
Right.
And when it comes to mental health in the black community, all right, it's automatic. You're crazy.
Right. And that
You
doesn't
can't
mean
be
that.
depressed.
Right.
You can't have anxiety.
Right.
You
All the stuff going on in the world, you can't have nothing. What the hell are you supposed to do then?
Yes, exactly.
Right? So that's really, and a mental health, it could be, that's just your mental. Like, it could be good, bad.
Yeah,
It's just
right.
a mental, how your brain works, so that's something, like I said, we have to really focus on.
Yeah, so that's why I'm out here doing what I'm doing.
Right.
And like I said, I raised a lot of kids that
Right.
weren't mine, and they come back like, Mom, you changed my life around.
Right.
You was there for us, and it makes me feel really good.
Right.
I'm so happy that, they accomplished something.
Mm-hmm.
One of my goddaughters, she I think she has, it's called turf management.
Right.
Like she has a record company, I'm not sure.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, like a management company, like she do managing.
yes.
Oh, okay. She manages like artists and stuff?
Yeah, I'm right. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I don't know too much about it.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'm very proud of her. I, was able to help her, move on in her life
Right.
and change her life when nobody else was there. Because, like I said before, I didn't have anyone. So
Right.
now that I have Life Camp, I have Nate, Not Another Child.
Right.
Abby is in Kings County.
Right.
So we
That's
need
great.
this.
Right.
We need this.
Right. It's getting up there.
I'm trying. I need you guys' support.
I will help you. I will support you. I definitely will.
Yes, thank you so much.
Right.
Appreciate it.
Right. Yeah.
Like I said, my neighbor across the street, when her son was killed, and I went there, and they was lost. They was so lost. I'm like, listen, I got you.
Right.
And I've been having them ever since.
Really? Wow.
Yes.
That's good.
Yes, I told him I'm here for you any time of day and night. She needs to talk to me, the mother. Call me anytime.
Right. That's wonderful.
It's
We
devastating.
need way more. We need a lot of people like you in the world. Like,
Thank you.
you know, sometimes people need people to vent to. You know, you don't feel comfortable venting to certain people, so you just need that one person that you could really speak to and vent to. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
It's a lot of us out here. But we don't have that platform. So that's why I'm so grateful. I don't know, I might have stumbled a few times over my words.
Right. It's
Thank
okay.
you so much.
It's okay. That's okay.
Really
So we're gonna talk a little bit more about it when we get back. We just
Okay.
wanna okay. We can
okay. All right.
Welcome back, guys, to In Touch with Reality podcast. Again, we have Annette Craddock with us, advocate for gun violence. My co-host Gino. What's going on, Gino?
How you doing?
Hi. Thank you. Same
This
here.
is a beautiful thing you have here.
Thank you.
I want to need everybody in the environment to come out and support on Saturday, August 5th.
Showing the flyer. And where's this located at again?
Jamaica, Queens.
Jamaica, Queens.
Yes.
Yeah, this is a good thing. This is one of the main things out in the streets right now. That's
Yes.
very important. So we need everybody to come out and support.
Right. Because, you know, a lot of us got sons and stuff like that. And, you know, and I think that's really important for the boys, you know,
Right.
the men, the young men growing
Yes.
up, because that's who's mainly killing each other
Right.
and who's picking up these guns and stuff.
That is
you
so
know,
true,
the
yeah.
girls don't really, you know, you got like a girl or two that did something,
Yeah.
but girls don't really get into that. Girls fight and stuff like that, or you know, but guys is the ones that you know they ego driven, and somebody say something wrong or something they don't like, or they feel like they got to impress people around them, and then they want to go pick up a gun.
Right.
So I think, like I said, even with that it should be also like some type of mental health evaluation, or like you know, like something like, I think it could be like a therapy. You can be like a therapist, you know? You
Yeah,
can
for the-
talk to people and you
Yeah.
can get them.
For the street.
Yeah, a therapist, right? The street therapist.
And that's
Right.
that's what they need more than the hood. though.
Right.
Right.
Have that. I come from the streets.
Oh,
I
really?
know how it is. And
And I'm pretty sure Gino, he lost a lot of friends to gun violence. He know people,
yeah.
right? So,
And it's like, that's one of the hardest things to stop. You know what I'm saying? But it only gonna stop if everybody get together.
Right. Yes, exactly. That is so
That's
true, and
it.
that's what I'm trying to do: bring everybody together.
Right.
Like it gotta end somehow. Nothing lasts forever.
exactly.
It has to end somehow, and it starts with us right here.
Right.
Yeah.
Always. I think if more people, you know, had a mindset like yours, we probably could have been made a change, you know?
Yeah.
But like you said, people don't really get involved until something happens and they feel a hurt, and then they're like,
Right.
you know, they need the support and stuff like that. But it should be
Yeah.
automatic. you
Right, and that's the saddest part. People wait until something happens to their child before they, come out and like, okay, I'm right here. I need help now.
Right.
No, get out right now.
Before
We
it's too
need
late.
you. We need everybody out right now. Our kids are dying
Right.
because of gun violence.
Young children.
Yes.
Young children. It could be anybody kid.
Yes.
You know, they could. And then the crazy part, what really hurts me is that the kids that really don't have anything to do with anything, that they're just standing outside minding their business, or they're playing, and then they get,
The innocent bystanders.
yeah.
Right.
You know, that's really hurtful and painful. Like these young children.
Yeah. And it's also
Like, I
starting
don't
from
even know.
parents,
Like,
though.
I
It
I
starts
agree.
from parents,
I
because the
agree.
parents nowadays,
It's what I don't know how
they
they
friends.
They off the hook.
Yeah.
yeah, Gino came a little late today, but that's what we were talking about earlier. We were saying that it doesn't matter how you raise your child, because you could raise your child to be the best child in the world. And once they get outside and inside the environment, and they, interact with different people,
Right.
they really choose who they want to be.
Yeah.
The only thing you can do is install things in your child's head and keep installing it. So when they get in certain situations, they would know how to move. When they're being criticized, they'll be like, "Please, I don't care what you're saying. Like, I know I'm you give your child
Once you
love, you
prepare them.
hug them, you kiss them, you make them feel confident. All of that, counts. And that's the only thing we can do is be parents.
Right, but it's a lot of parents, like you said, out there that's not doing that.
Right.
Like how it is you want something better for your child.
Right.
But there's a lot of parents out here that is their kids' friends instead of trying to be a mother to them.
Right.
And then they fighting each other. They're best friends fighting each other and always fighting over a man, and then the kids see it, and then the fathers fighting their friends over, dumb stuff or whatever,
Yeah.
and then their kids see it, and they next door neighbors walking around and not speaking to each other. So they, and it grows from there.
Yeah, that's where it starts from.
Then they start killing each other. Your best friend and you always grew up with, because of some beef maybe your mother and your father had with each other, and then now you growing up hating your best friend over something you have no control over.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with it.
Right. And like we have to stop that.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Certain things a child not supposed to see.
Yeah.
And you don't have to involve them in everything. If you're going to argue, and you don't tell, because you better not, I don't speak to her, his or her mother. You better not say nothing to them. I'm going to tear your behind up if you speak to them. No.
Yeah.
Don't do that. No. Let them there. That's, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I totally agree.
You don't put them in what you going through.
Right.
Let them pick and choose.
Yeah, and it's really sad.
Yeah, because nowadays they just teach them all the opposite.
Right.
They just teach them the
That's
opposite.
true. That's
man.
true.
Man. But definitely we got to come together and support each other at the
Right.
end of the day, so we could better ourselves.
Right. Yes. So my event for next Saturday is a barbecue. It's a family thing. It's going to be the loved ones. Like I said, we're going to have the pictures on the fence to show, the ones that passed away. I got toys. Someone donated toys for the kids. They win prizes. I'm going to make a gift basket, raffle off for the parents. And, I want...
You doing all this by yourself? I know you got a little help, though.
Yes, I have a little help.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, your husband helping you as well. Right? Your biggest supporter.
Yes, I'll have a little help, whatnot. But my family, my twin sister, my niece Janae, she's gonna help.
Yes.
But it's just that this is something we need. When I grew up back in the 70s, we had block parties. Everybody on the block brought food out, set up a table. Everybody ate. Nowadays, go over there and eat. You ain't eating none of my food. Like, come on. That's what a block.
Yeah. Do a big cookout.
Yeah, I'm down.
I want to do one so bad. I think I want to do it like, we're going to talk about
We
it.
supposed to be having a 2020 reunion.
Really?
Yes.
When?
It was supposed to be August, so I don't, that would be nice. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be nice. Definitely a cookout like that.
Right.
Right? I was just saying, like, things is not like it used to be back in the days. You know how people used to throw cookouts? You could just... Yo, that's why we got to bring that back.
Yes.
And then you ain't gonna be the lit ones, because they be like, oh shit. 'Cause once somebody throw a cookout, you got the liquor, you got the food. They coming. You got the music.
Right.
They coming. And people don't have cookouts no more, so we could do a big cookout. I really
Right,
do.
that would
'Cause I
be
was
nice.
supposed to throw one for my birthday, but I've been so busy doing like just doing so much stuff that I wasn't able to do it. But I still want to do one before the summer's over, because I would regret it last summer when I didn't get a chance to do it.
Oh, really?
So I really want to do one. So maybe you want to be a part of it. and
Of
stuff like
course,
that.
of course.
Yeah, we could be a part of it.
Put the guns down, cookout
we
again.
can put some of the-
One.
Yes, yes, we can keep it going.
Yeah.
Don't let it stop here.
Exactly. And got to get further than that.
And being that you have your own, got the nonprofit organization, you could also, I know a little bit about the taxes and stuff. You can write that off as a the cookout. We could write that off and all of that as a, because we're doing business
Tax
also.
write-off.
Oh, okay,
So,
really?
Tax write-off.
yeah. we can
All
talk
right,
about
well,
that, though,
it's
behind
coming
the
through.
scenes.
It's taking its time, but I'm eventually going to get there.
Right.
It's not going to stop me from doing what I'm doing until
Exactly.
I get there. But if I have to come out my pocket, that's what I'm going to do.
There's nothing wrong with that. And God is going to bless you.
passion for me. Like,
Right.
so many people passed away. I mean, my
Right.
kids' friends, like, used to break bread, come in my house,
This
and
is
get
your
on my
purpose.
nerves. Yes.
It's your purpose.
Yeah.
That's why you
Yes.
endured so much and you've seen so much, because God is your purpose.
Yes.
This is your purpose.
Yes.
But and that you just follow it and walk in it, and everything is going to turn out great, because
Thank
God is going to lead you, because this is the way He wants you to. be.
I believe that.
Yeah.
I believe that.
Right. Right.
I'm like, God, why am I so nice?
Right. God put you in that.
Or the
He
pieces
wants
will
you to
fall
do
in.
that.
Or the
He
pieces
put
are falling
strong
into the
people.
puzzle.
He gives strong people certain tasks, and He gave it to you.
Yeah.
So that's a blessing, and you.
Yeah. I'm grateful for it.
Bro.
I'm so grateful for it. And also, I want to point out the churches.
Right.
don't expect me to come in and give you my money if you can't come out in the streets.
Exactly. I was going to
And
talk about churches.
Please
Go ahead,
do.
finish.
Yeah. No, I want to hear this. Please
Because
do.
you know, I'm a child of God. I love God.
Me
I
too.
pray all the time. But
that's
I don't.
the wrong
really,
house.
now, as I got older, I feel like you don't really have to go to church because a lot of churches is phony.
They fraud.
You see a lot of things that going on. I don't like to put people's names up and stuff. You know,
Exactly.
You know, but you see what went on and stuff.
Yes.
But a lot of churches are phony, and that's
Too
why,
phony.
like, I really do. Like, I pray all the time. I always pray, but I don't really feel bad for not really always going to church because I don't feel like you have to be in church to really know God or pray.
That's
true.
Your house could be a church.
Right, that's
You
true.
know what I'm saying? And then
Yeah.
when you go to church, some of them people be frauds anyway. You know, a lot of people be fraud. I'm going to keep it in front.
Them pastors.
Yeah.
Touch with reality. The pastors be frauds.
Pastors be
People
frauds.
taking all your money. And I'm going to speak on it. I don't care. I think that's very, like, that's really
That's
terrible
respectful.
that you're mocking God and you're acting like you with God. And you sitting there taking all those people money. And to be a pastor, and I feel like it's certain things you're supposed to really be walking a straight path.
Exactly.
Which is name brand
I
stuff
agree.
and all that fancy stuff is not supposed to really be like
Nope.
In the
part
lifestyle.
of your, you know, you're not supposed to
They
expose
talk
that.
about materialistic things.
Yeah.
And you sit there and wear the stuff.
Yeah,
Understand a lot of
we're
them?
trying to change
Yes.
the world and show people that materialistic things doesn't mean anything, and you don't need that to be this type of person or be a powerful person.
Right.
And to be a pastor and to represent God, because that's what you're supposed to represent.
Right.
And you're promoting that. I don't agree with that at all.
No,
I
me
really
either.
don't. I really don't.
And there's a
So
lot.
that's why I feel like, you know, even people who go to church, that don't mean anything. It's still people who go to church that still have a lot of things they need to work on. You know, even probably pastors still have things they need to work on.
Of course.
But I don't think those things should be really something that you, like, what we just spoke about. You know, like, I think that you showing people you driving a Phantom and a Rolls Royce.
Yes.
And you taking all these people money. And the door on the doorknob on the church door is still broke after all these offerings
Yes.
you done took throughout the whole year.
Yeah.
Something is wrong. You know,
Exactly.
Reverend, there's something wrong.
Got a new car every year,
You
though.
don't have to get
Yeah.
They got a
you
new
know,
car every
you got
year.
armor roll on your wheels and all of that, but you a pastor. There's something going on, right?
Right. That's true.
So that's why I said.
Yeah. And like I was saying, you open your doors.
And I want to
Like,
find
why
out
you can't come in the community
right.
where they going and giving you all their money, but you can't come outside and do something about gun violence.
Because a lot of pastors be
Exactly.
frauds. And they only care about themselves. And they not they
Exactly.
really in it for the money, what you could give them, them offerings.
Right.
You know? So that's why, and that's the problem with me. Like, I do want to start going back to church, but I want to find a good church. I don't know. Like, I want to find a real good church so I can know when I'm giving my offerings that it's really meaningful and going to something. I think God appreciated it anyway, you know?
Good church.
You're not.
But
in
yeah,
I don't
I
know
used to
about
go to a
no good
where
church.
they
Well,
like,
I know a good church. What is it? Greater Light Baptist Church on. I told you it's on Prospect.
got cracking up in the last joke.
Avenue. No, I'm saying this because like he was there through everything. Everyone that got killed that I called him, no problem asked. He was there.
right.
He was right there. You know, when Shaima Roman was killed on Eastern Parkway in Rochester,
Right.
and I went live, and he saw me on live, and he I don't know how he found out. I mean, I guess from the street signs or whatnot, and he came, and he was there for them 100%.
Right.
That was
My other goddaughter, her mother passed away, and I called them because they didn't really have a lot of money at the time.
Right.
And so to help them out, you know, because you know it's cheaper if you get your own pastor to preach at your funeral.
Right.
Yes, if the funeral home get a pastor, it costs more money.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Wow.
What is that? Yes.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
It's cheaper if you get someone to play the organ. It's cheaper if you get someone to sing and to preach at your funeral.
Wow.
Yeah.
You got to do your own work.
You gotta write it
You got to
down.
do your own
Yeah.
stuff, right? And that's another large subject, life insurance. Like, I think that's very important,
Right.
Also, that people need to start, you know, taking. They need life insurance. 'Cause you don't want to be like somebody passed away and now you got to be scrambling to get.
Right.
And it's real talk. Like you
Right.
don't be scrambling to get things together. And I know a few people also. That's why I'm bringing that up. That probably didn't have life insurance and they had to. ask people for money and get donations and stuff. So I think that life insurance is something that
Yeah.
our people need to start having, and it might be an uncomfortable conversation because people probably think you're trying to kill them now because you got life insurance. What are you trying to kill?
No, but listen, best believe.
People don't want to talk about life insurance and
Best
stuff.
believe
but-
it not.
Huh?
Life insurance is something you could use while you living though.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
You're
also
not
like
supposed to wait. You're not supposed to wait till you die to cover
Right.
up. If you life is insurance, it's for your life now.
Right.
So you be able to use that money as you're living.
Right.
And
but
people
you
don't know that though.
But the sad thing about it is no one is thinking about that because no one thinks
yeah.
that they're gonna die any day,
Yeah.
man. Like,
Right.
like life is precious.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a blessing when you wake up and open your eyes
Right,
in the
it definitely
morning.
is.
You know, people don't look at it like
They
that.
don't. You right about that.
They'd rather spend their money on something stupid.
Right. And don't even have any life insurance.
Yeah.
And you fly and trying to...
They got
You in
some.
that casket with all that Gucci on. I mean, you in the cardboard box with all the Gucci on. But
That's
no,
so
we got to
true,
make sure we
yeah.
got life insurance, people. Please, let's get life insurance. Yes, that's very important. Like, we have to have that.
Yeah, that's
Right.
cool.
So let me ask. So, do you advocate for? I mean, goats in the streets. I know I shouldn't be asking you questions. You're supposed to ask me, but I just want to know because you say you from the streets or whatnot.
Yeah.
So I want to know: do you talk to the young people?
To the ones that I see need guidance, sometimes, yeah.
Right, because that's what also in part of my organization. I want people that came out of jail.
Yeah.
Because people glamorize jail. These guys be glamorizing jail.
Dude, like I was doing this in jail, and I was like,
Let me cook this for you. No,
Yeah. I learned this in jail. I learned this. Let me show you something.
They want to show you how they make a burrito with the Doritos and the oodles and noodles and the cheese. I'm like, listen, bro, okay? For real. Right.
They show you how to make a
I this guy from jail one time. This nigga had the whole. This shit was good though. He put he put the what was it? The
Doritos.
No, not the Doritos.
Cornflakes. You saw the one with the
Mixed
cornflakes.
all the Jack Mac, the oysters with some. I was like,
The
right.
noodles.
Like I'm in C95.
Yeah.
He got the noodles with it. He made it fancy. He put it over the pasta with the. Right?
Shit.
Right. Oh, the best meals late night. Yeah.
You had that, huh?
Oh man.
You do a little 2 days. You come back making burritos with the oodles and noodles. Like, where the fuck you learned this for that?
Right. So I'm gonna need somebody like you on board to not just people who need. They all need guidance.
Yeah.
Every last one of them
Positive
out
way.
needs guidance.
Yeah.
Everybody need guidance. Everybody needs somebody to talk to, like
Yeah.
guidance.
Yeah,
And
this
some
world
people
crazy.
You see, a lot of people don't get it because they're in denial and they don't wanna. They don't want to be held accountable and they don't want to, right their wrongs. You have to
Right.
know when, you got to talk to yourself
You see,
sometimes.
Criticism.
Yeah.
This
you gotta
genera-
and correct it, right?
This generation is different because as growing up, they don't have the guys, the older OGs like we had.
Right.
With respect and boundary.
Right,
They let
yeah.
you know. Let's
Yeah.
getting out of line, little young man.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
right.
Now these little kids, there's no respect. They
No
don't look up to
respect
nobody.
whatsoever.
You know what I'm saying? And it's not a lot of older guys that's really
Right. And mothers, what happened to big mamas? There's no more big mamas anymore.
not, no.
None.
And grandma, grandma
Right.
was the best. But
Yeah.
grandma 34. Grandma 34, so grandma's still partying.
You is so right. Yeah.
So it's like everything done changed now. So that's just why it's causing more, it's catching more effect on us.
Right, but it's sad. I mean, we sitting here laughing and joking about it, but this is
It's
really
real life. Yeah.
It's right. It's
Yeah.
real life.
Yeah.
I'm just tired of talking, girl. I be
What's
like,
this called? In touch with reality.
yes.
Yeah.
And you so right.
Right. You have to be in touch with reality because a lot of people in their fantasy worlds, they just don't want to see things like how, they want to just see it their way. They're very narrow-minded. It's like, no, it's not all about you. You have to open up and, get a broader outlook and just see, and help people,
Right.
It's a big world.
not even, it don't have to be financially, but you need to help people mentally. You have to
Right.
bring people up mentally. We need that.
Right.
Our kids have to grow up because it's not even about us. We could be like, I don't care about this, but what about the children? God forbid anything happens to us, they have to be in this world suffering. They have to be in this world, so we have to make sure that, they're good.
Right.
And we got to install positive things, you know? So,
Yeah.
Well, I want to save as many souls as possible before I leave this earth. You know, because a lot of souls out there is lost.
Lord,
Yes.
best to believe the women,
The women, yes.
some of them, the men, like they are lost. Like, everybody is. There's a lot of lost souls.
And right.
They got to wake up from the society to this media, social media that's going
Everybody
on.
want to be like
Everything
everybody. Everybody want to.
Yeah.
It's just everybody.
Compare
Want,
theyself.
it's okay to get recognition and just do something. Do something positive. Or do
positive.
something that like is gonna have an impact. You know.
Right.
So it's just a
Because-
lot going on.
It's so many platforms now that you're able to use it for something
Something
good,
positive, right.
Yeah.
That's true.
But they showed all the funny stuff and all the little stupidity on it
Right,
and try to program you to look at look, get stuck and
Yeah.
waste your time and watch this.
Right, yeah. And I was like, well, what is this? Like, that's, I scroll right on by.
Yeah.
Like, what the heck?
And I literally see people hours just watching.
Yeah.
I tell them like, why don't you become the watcher? Like, what you mean? Let somebody watch you. Do something in life.
Right.
And-
And they mad. No, and then
Stop
they upset
watching everybody
that,
else.
And then they upset that everybody else is doing something. Like we got the same 24 hours in a day. You could go and do anything you want to do.
Exactly.
You can go and do. That lets me know that you're not that confident in yourself.
Right.
People don't understand their actions tell a lot about you.
That's so
You understand
true.
what I'm saying? Your actions tell a lot about you. So the way you move, that's why I'm very conscious with the way I move.
Right.
Sometimes I don't care. Like I want you to get that message. I don't give a F.
Right.
You know, but sometimes I just want you to know that I don't give a F, but I am also conscious. Like I know, but I'm acting like this because I really am in that way right now.
And I agree with you 100% because I'm in that, like, I don't give up.
Right.
I don't care what nobody think about me. I don't have to answer to nobody but God. But what I do is what I do.
Exactly.
As long as I show something, present myself in a certain way that I'm a role model to somebody else.
Exactly.
And no, I'm not perfect. We're not perfect. We
Nobody's
make mistakes or whatever.
Right.
But then if I make a mistake or if I tell them, if I said something wrong,
You able to take accountability.
Right.
A lot of people don't,
Yeah.
and that's how you keep good people around you. That's how you keep friends. That's how you keep good relationships with people. Because people gonna go through things, but when you could be like, you know what,
Right.
I'm sorry, girl. Like I ain't have to say
Yeah.
all of that, or I ain't have to do that,
Right.
Or you know. Or you speak when you feel away, like, girl, I ain't like when you did this, instead of holding animosity.
Exactly.
And now you holding animosity inside, and now you mad at this person, or you trying to get back at this person behind their back. And you could have just spoke to me and said how you feel, and I could have been like, you know what, I'm sorry, I didn't know you.
Right.
You know, so
Yeah.
it's a lot, and
People got to communicate more.
yeah, you have to communicate,
they
and you got to
lost
be real,
communication.
Yeah.
because you got to be real.
And
like,
some people can't comprehend if a brick fell on their head. They gonna like, what's that? And a brick fell on their head, in their hand, and they like, what's that?
Right.
Why? 'Cause it hurts.
Because they delusional. Some people is just delusional.
Exactly, yeah.
A lot of people are delusional. Like,
Yes.
you be like, you don't see the sky's blue.
Blue,
You be like, that
yeah.
shit is green. You be like, yo, you know what? Okay. You don't even waste your time on people like they'll stress you out. You arguing with them. It's blue. It's blue. And you got high blood pressure now.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
No. You can't let people stress you out. You
Yes.
just gotta go where the good people are. You know,
Right,
whoever you
right.
adapt to, whoever's on your type of timing,
Right,
they on,
right.
the same page, that's who you deal with.
And I always say, you never forget where you came from.
Right.
Never
Never.
forget.
Yeah.
Cause those same people you meet going up, you're gonna meet them coming down. So
Exactly.
you treat people with
And
kindness.
that's one thing about me. Like I don't care what you have. Like
Right.
I don't care. I don't just hang out with girls because they're pretty or they got money or I hang out with anybody as long as you
Right.
got a good heart.
Right.
We can rock.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's not how it is with me. Like I'm a real person.
Right.
You know, I like to people because they heart.
Right, and
That's what
the
gets
best
me.
way to
I don't
be.
care what your money looking like, what you got, I don't care about none of that. If you got a good
Right.
heart, then you can rock with me.
Yeah.
If I can trust you, you
Right.
can rock with me. You know, and that's how I
Yeah.
am. You know, and
And
that's how
that's
we all
good.
be.
That's good. God sees that.
Some people just want to be around people because they lit, or they just, and this lit person is just a real fucked up individual. Sorry, I'm like,
No,
sorry.
go ahead.
It's just a
Please,
really
no, you
messed up
right.
individual, but they want to be around them because they think they lit and ain't this, but they treat you like shit. You know what I'm saying? Or they
Yeah,
don't
exactly.
even acknowledge
Go
you,
ahead,
or they
tell
think
it.
you know. So I feel like that's it is what it is.
You got to be careful who you're around with.
Right. Yeah, that is so true. That is so true.
Yeah.
But
and you got to be around people who support you. Like I don't care. I take that very personal because if you're around me and you don't support me, I do take that personal because you're my friend. But
Right.
you don't want to see me win. Because it takes 2 seconds. It don't even got nothing to do with money. It takes 2 seconds to do things. So you see how you trying to get on your. You need. I would support you. I don't care. That's how I am.
Appreciate
You know.
it. I truly
Because I
appreciate
know
it.
everybody. We need each other. We all need each other.
Right.
We need when you're doing music. You need people to buy your music. You need
Right.
people to when you're doing what you're doing. You need people.